Noach describes the fate of mankind for continued disobedience to the Torah. God starts over with new people. But these are not people that were created directly by God and therefore in His image as Adam was. These are people who are made in the image of Adam. The earth is still on the decline, even with this new beginning. Important numbers that reoccur in Scripture are introduced in Noach: 40, the number of testing; 120, the amount of time God allotted to strive with mankind, trying to get us to recognize Him as our King and to live as law-keeping citizens rather than lawless rogues of Satan's kingdom. Another important concept in Noach is the distinction between clean and unclean, holy and profane. Noah took animals into the ark in pairs, except for the clean animals. This is another way that we know the Torah was alive and active on the earth at that time and being obeyed by Noah. Noah took his family into the ark. Rain fell for 40 days and nights. The ark was on the water for 150 days, after which it came to rest on Mount Ararat. The 17th day of the 7th month would later become the resurrection day of Yeshua, the Messiah. The beginning of the year was at Tishri 1, what we call Yom Teruah, or Rosh Hashanah. This is Creation Day, and the month in which God renewed His creation with Noah. The flood began on the 17th day of the 2nd month, which is Cheshvan. 150 days later brings the calendar to what will become the beginning of the feast calendar, the month of Aviv or Nisan. The Passover sacrifice is performed on the 14th of Aviv or Nisan. Thus, the resurrection happened on the 17th of this month, which would have been the 7th month from Tishri, the month when God began creation. Noah sent 2 birds to check on the receding waters, the raven and the dove. The raven is an unclean bird, and the dove a clean one. The birds are 2 witnesses to the condition of the earth. The raven did not return to the ark, but the dove returned to Noah. Only those which are clean can return to and be near the Father. Once the waters receded, the dove brought back signs of life, the olive branch. Olives provide food and oil for man's diet, and highly refined oil for God's lamp, the menorah. Again, it is God's light that comes forth into the world first. Then everything else emerged, just like the original and first time God created the earth and all living things. Noah raised God's ownership symbol of the earth, an altar, and on it Noah sacrificed the clean animals, because only clean animals can be sacrificed to God. This is yet another clue that Noah knew about, understood, and lived by the Torah, God's law. This is also a repeat of what came before. Are you beginning to notice that God is establishing patterns? How is the altar a repeat of before? Let's look back at Bresheit for a moment. At every sacrifice, there are animal skins. The Torah says the Levites are to keep the skins. Thus, before there can be skins, there must be a sacrifice. Why? Adam was to be the first priest on the earth, a priest in the order of Melchizedek. Just like the Aaronic priesthood that would come later, Adam needed a sacrifice to atone for his crime against God's law. The altar Noah built is another reminder that everything God does once, He will do again. But sometimes God undoes what He did before. The sacrifice was a pleasing aroma to God, so He promised. The land, which was cursed because of Adam and Eve, is no longer cursed, even though God still knew every human heart was evil from the beginning of life to the end. God is the only one who has the power to remove His curses. And let's not forget one other promise God made to mankind. He gave us the rainbow to remind us of it. He will never destroy the earth by water again.